Hey guys, Cass here, and today I'm going to be doing my August what I've been watching vid. And I actually watched quite a few films in August, so let's just dive straight in. Got a lot to talk about. So the first thing I watched in August was the TV show of Deadly Class, and honestly, as a fan of the comics, I actually quite enjoyed it. It was a bit different, but I think they did the characters well in their own way. They looked pretty decent. I liked the whole vibe of the show. I mean, don't get me wrong, it definitely wasn't as dark as the comics are, but I appreciated the way that they did it. Deadly Class is a comic and also obviously a TV show based on a school for assassins set in the 80s. And yeah, I didn't hate it. I quite enjoyed it, which is good as a fan of the actual original material. Doesn't happen very often. Next up, I finished off Umbrella Academy. I think I watched the first half of the season the month before, finished the season in August, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have watched the Umbrella Academy. It's a great show. I really enjoy it. I think the vibe was slightly different in the second season because the characters weren't necessarily together as much. The first season, the first episode, it was like bring the characters together, boom, now everything happens. Whereas the second season, they're all split off doing their own things, and then there's a lot more storyline, but I feel like they didn't necessarily get everything right, but I very much enjoyed it. I mean, just the cinematography, the soundtrack, amazing. I love the Umbrella Academy soundtrack, the characters, what's not to like. Next up, I got like a month trial of some sort of channel on Amazon Prime, just for fun, just to check it out. And I watched a couple of seasons of Project Runway. I think it was the last year's season and then the season before. And I mean, I just enjoy Project Runway. It's just a fun time. I just really enjoy watching people create stuff, and this whole show is people creating outfits. Also, I don't know how it's not been a meme that there was literally a guy on there called COVID who, on one of the challenges, streetwear challenge I think, legit made an outfit and then had them wearing a mask just because it looked aesthetic. How has that not been a thing that people talk about? It's just weird. We all love them weird conspiracies. We all love a little bit of a glitch. COVID. Masks. A couple of years before COVID and masks. It happened. These two seasons were after Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn left, but I actually quite liked both of the replacements on Project Runway. I watched a series called Accident, Suicidal, Murder, and I thought it was going to be like, one episode might be an accident, one might be a suicide, one might be a murder, but it was pretty much all of them were a murder, but they were originally thought to be an accident or suicide. But I enjoyed it. I like any sort of true crime shit, and there was 2 seasons of that, I think. It's just something that you can put on and enjoy and watch, and some of them were absolutely crazy, what they originally somehow put down as an accident. And then you think, how can that have been an accident? Look at the evidence. Or a suicide, look at the evidence, it's clearly a murder. But yeah, just somewhat easy to watch. Gruesome, murdery stuff, we love it. There's one case on there that's ongoing, and it was the woman that committed suicide by stabbing herself about 40 times, somewhere in the back of the head and in the chest. And I think they did all of this, the people that are trying to prove that it wasn't a suicide have done all this test, like 2 of the stabs in the back of her neck would have got her spine and then she wouldn't have been able to move, and then like some of the chest stabby ones. It's weird, but because the door was locked and there was no way in, they decided it was a suicide. But it's weird. There's something not quite right there. And I think this year, because it happened like 20 years ago, this year the family are taking the police to court, something like that. And they've got like these new images where they've made a mock-up of what it would have actually looked like. All the knife placements. I'm going to try and find it and put it there. To kind of be like, can you please look into this again? So that's interesting. Who knows? I read a Reddit thread of people thinking it was an accident, saying people can stab themselves loads of times, saying it definitely wasn't, saying, oh, it was the boyfriend because he's the only one that said she was alone. All this crazy shit. It's interesting. Next up, I've been watching a program called The Fall. I think I've watched 2 seasons, or maybe I'm near the end of season 2. But this one is set in Ireland, and it's about a detective woman and then this serial killer guy, and you follow both of them. He's doing serial killery things and she's trying to catch him doing serial killer things. And I really enjoyed it. It's quite funny though, because like every single Irish actor that's ever been on Hollyoaks is in it, and I just thought it was funny. I used to watch Hollyoaks back in the day, and like Brendan from Hollyoaks is on it, Cheryl from Hollyoaks is on it, Chris from Hollyoaks is on it, Lindsay from Hollyoaks is on it. It's just mad. And then I think the guy that is the serial killer, I think perhaps he's that guy that was in 50 Shades of Grey. Don't know, I haven't seen it, but I feel like that's the guy, maybe. But I really enjoyed him as the killer, and I really enjoyed the whole way it's done, and you see from both sides, and I'm sure I'll carry it on and we'll see where it goes. Season 2, I think there's 4 seasons. Good times. Next up, the start of the little film section, because I got a 7-day trial of the Now TV, Sky Movies, whatever. We love a free trial. So the reason I got the trial is because we were trying to watch Jumanji, The Next Level, naughtily, and it just kept being really like flip 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 and stopping every 1 second. So I was like, you know what, I bet I can find it on something for a free trial. Boom, Now TV. So I watched Jumanji The Next Level, and I thought it was really fun. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I do think it was a decent enough sequel that I'm glad they made it. It wasn't just like pointless. It was a fun time. I had a few different characters in it and mixed it up a little bit, so that was cool. Something a bit different. But it's just one of those really easy watching, family fun films. So I enjoyed it. I had a laugh. Next up I watched Slaughterhouse Rules. This is an English film and it's got Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in it, which, not gonna lie, that drew me to it. And it's about this school, really posh fancy school, and then this Yorkshire dude goes to it and some weird stuff's happening, and then there's a fracking people close, and then it's also a creature feature. So there's a lot of layers, but also it's really slow to get started. About 40 minutes in, you're still kind of having the build up and nothing's really happening yet. So it definitely is a slow burner, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't crazy fun, but there were specific times when I absolutely howled with laughter. There's one specific time involving Simon Pegg, and it was just, it made me laugh a lot. But also the whole way through, like, this dude from Yorkshire is getting bullied by all these posh southern upper class people. I'm like, as if that would happen in real life. You know, the northerner would be like. But here's the thing that's completely weird. The whole way through the film, I thought that the main guy was the same guy that was the main guy in Deadly Class. Turns out they're two different people. How is that possible when they're literally the same person? Madness. This is a super long video, so here's a very quick message from one of our sponsors. Oh hey Mance, you just chilling? Enjoying the vid? Next I watched Spiderman Into the SpiderVerse. I've been wanting to watch this since it was announced, since it came out. It's been a few years, so I'm finally glad that I got there and watched it, and it was a really fun film. It was just one of those films that everyone seems to like, and I agree. I liked the different Spider-Men in it. Is that a spoiler? I don't know. But I think it was fun the way that they did all the different things. And also the way that Miles got bit was hilarious, because it was all like being proper dramatic. Zooming in and seeing the spider, and then he's just like, I loved that, it was so funny. But anyway, yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. It's about Spider-Man, but Miles Morales, Spider-Man, but also loads of Spider-Men and women. Next up, I rewatched Zombieland Double Tap because my brother hadn't seen it. I've seen it once before, and I think I enjoyed it more the second time, to be honest. I didn't not enjoy it the first time, but because I know what was coming, I think I appreciated the fun times more so. And it was, again, like a previous thing, it was a really good sequel. They waited 10 years, they popped a sequel out, but I think it was done well and I liked the characters, and it didn't feel like they're just doing a sequel for the money. Maybe they did, but I think they did it well. Definitely one you can watch a couple of times and still enjoy it, or probably get more enjoyment out of it. Because the first time I watched it, obviously I must have been in my head comparing it to the first film, but then this time around I didn't have that comparing thing because I'd already seen it once, so I was just enjoying it. And yeah, it's a good film. Then I watched Toy Story 4. This one did feel a little bit kind of, alright then Toy Story, calm down, stop dragging it out. but also the ending did feel like it was sort of the end, but who knows, they'll probably pop another one out. It's mental. It's like Toy Story came out a bajillion years ago and then 20 years later they made a sequel and now they've done a 3 out of 4. Mad. But it was one of those ones that you could just watch and enjoy because it's Toy Story and you like the characters, but I didn't feel like there was much of a plot there. But also I didn't really mind it there wasn't much of a plot because I was just enjoying the Toy Story-ness of it all. And to be honest, I did like Forky. That was his name, right? Forky. But it did feel like in the third one it went super crazy extreme. The ending to that is like, what? And then this one is kind of mellowed out, so it feels like a weird dynamic compared to what happened or could have happened to the toys in the third one and then this one. But I mean, it's just a great fun family film and it's worth a watch. Next up I watched Blue Story. This is a film that was directed and written and also rapped in by Rap Man. So he's an English rapper who made this film, and then it has like the narration of him doing a rap, and then it also has the story unfolded. It'll have the unfolding story and then it has him like wrapping it up in a little rap of what just happened, and it's really cool. And I feel like I've not really explained any other film, but you've probably heard of all the other films. So this one is about 2 characters who are friends, but then one's from one place, one's from the other, and their gangs are like opposites. And then this whole gang mentality, and you're from that place, I'm from this place, revenge, someone does something to someone, so they have to do something back, so they have to do something back, so they have to do something back, and this whole vicious circle that exists. And it doesn't pull any punches, and it is a very, very, I mean, can you even call it a bittersweet ending? I don't even know if it's bittersweet. If it's bittersweet, it's like 80% bitter and 20% sweet, but it's real. It's one of those sort of English gangster, but obviously not gangster, but they're in gangs, so I'm using the word gangster. Films that don't portray them as something you want to become. It's not like, oh, look how cool they are, they've got loads of money and they've got loads of girls and it's something to aspire to. It very much is the opposite, and it shows you that it's not good, everyone's life is getting fucked up, and don't do it. Next I watched Boy Meets Girl, and I have been wanting to watch this film for years and years, and I literally don't know why it took me so long to watch it because it was so good. So basically this film is about a trans girl and her sort of exploring her sexuality. She's always been attracted to men, but she's like, oh, men are bits of dick, men are dicks, maybe I should like a woman. And then it's her sort of finding this girl that she likes and then exploring that and whether that's a thing that she wants. But then also there's this other sort of layer of her and her male best friend, and is there something going on with her, or do they like each other? And then also she wants to be a fashion designer, so it's about whether she's going to get into college and all that business. And it was such a good film, and it made me cry a lot, and it was really, really good. So watch it. Like I say, don't know why it took me so long. Also the main character, she's literally a trans girl who didn't even want to be an actor, she wasn't even in that sort of thing, but they found her and they were like, hey, do you want to be in this film? So it's like a genuine actual trans girl playing a trans girl, so that's always a bonus. And then the last film I watched, yes, we're getting to the end of it, don't worry, was Detroit Evolution. So this video game exists called Detroit Become Human. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that Alice Oseman did an AU with Charlie and Nick from Heartstopper in this Detroit Becoming Human world. So that's how I know anything about it. And then somehow, don't know how, I found this film on YouTube, wasn't looking for it in the slightest, but this is a fan-made film. Honestly, this is the future of fan fiction. There's going to be no more waiting around for your favourite book to be picked up by a company. It's going to be, oh, we really like these characters, let's just crowdfund and literally make a full-length film myself, because that is how this was made. It was completely crowdfunded and fans created it, and it's actually amazing, especially considering how it was made. The cinematography, the actors, the sounds, the CGI all felt like a real film, and it's literally just people making it because they like it. Like, it's literally free to watch on YouTube because they can't make money out of the characters because it's not theirs and all that business. But they've literally made it just because they like it that much. I mean, the two main characters apparently are two characters that didn't even interact in the game, but people shipped them so much that they've made a film about them. So this is about a human and an android, and the android's now a sentient, and then they're detectives and they're solving a crime, and it's gay. Apparently people find gay ships anywhere, even if it's two characters that have never interacted before. But yeah, I'll leave it down below if you want to watch the film. I think it's just a little over an hour, so it's not mega long, but it's like genuinely really well made. The only criticism I would have of it is there's a fight scene and it's choreographed really, really badly, like the throwing punches, and it's about this far away from the face. So I feel like they could have sort of filmed it at a different angle so it didn't look so obvious that it was fake. It's kind of slow. But I mean, other than that, absolutely incredible. And genuinely a fun film to watch. So we've come to the end, and as always at the end of my videos I like to talk about YouTubers new to me that I've been watching a lot in the month. So I Could Murder a Podcast is my choice for this month. This is a podcast, quite new. I think they've done 5 episodes now, potentially 6, can't remember. I think it might be 5. And they're just full-length episodes you can watch on YouTube, that's how I do it, or they're on Spotify and iTunes to listen to. And as you can probably tell by the title, it's true crime podcasts. But the way they do it is just really fun, especially when you're watching. They have a lot of visual gags and they set the scene at the beginning and it's really cool and different. And then the personalities of the two hosts, sort of, even when they're talking about heavy stuff, they make it so they can joke, not in a way that they're joking about the victims, but they'll take the piss out of the person that did it, like, oh, they're a bit of a dickhead kind of thing. But very much enjoy that, so I'll leave their links down below as well. So there we go, that was all the things I watched in August. I know I don't really go into much about the synopsises or anything like that, so if you want to know anything about the thing, ask me down below. I just feel like this video would be an hour long if I actually went into the specific storyline and what it's about. So kind of little snippets here and there, and hopefully it makes you interested in the stuff, or maybe you've watched it and you want to talk about it. Down below, let's chat. If this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of the others, and if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.